and welcome to the Asian Pulse Television. I am your host, Farah Khan. Thank you for tuning into your informative and educational network. We are broadcasting from the unceded territory of Semiahmoo First Nation, Kadzi and Kwot Lane First Nation. April is a daffodil month, a time to fight back against cancer and to show your support to those affected by cancer. Make a donation and wear a daffodil pin throughout the month of April and celebrate Daffodil Day on Friday, April 27th. Happy Ram Navami to all of us who are celebrating 9 days of prayers, and the last day is before noon on 18th. From our family at Asian Pulse Television, wishing you all a very happy Ram Navami, Sikh Heritage Month, everyone. A moment to celebrate the Canadian Sikh community's valuable contributions and their crucial role in shaping a stronger, more inclusive Canada. Happy Vaisakhi to all our Sikh community from our team at Asian Pulse Television. Vaisakhi will be celebrated in Surrey on April 20. Over 500,000 people will be attending the event. Our team will be present there and will be very happy if you all come and say hi to us and enjoy the Surrey Vaisakhi. To talk about the Vaisakhi, we have two RCMP in our studio about the safety during Vaisakhi in Surrey. It's time for a short break. I'll be right back after these words from our sponsors.
क्या आप अपना ड्रीम होम खरीदना चाहते हो या अपने घर से पैसे निकालकर अपने किचन या अपने घर को रेनोवेट करना चाहते हो, लेकिन बैंक्स ने आपको मना कर दिया है? आप मुझे कॉल कर सकते हैं, यानी विक प्रसाद को। मैं एक इंडिपेंडेंट मॉर्गेज ब्रोकर हूं जो कई बैंक्स और क्रेडिट यूनियंस और प्राइवेट लेंडर्स के साथ काम करता हूं।
For more information, please call Vic Prasad at 604-306-6647. Vic Prasad is one of the top brokers of Invest Craft Mortgages and is also a member of the Canadian Mortgage Brokers Association of BC.
For any kind of visa-related services, contact Milky Way Immigration, a galaxy of opportunities located at Unit 209-9547 152 Street, Surrey, BC. They have licensed immigration consultants, placement officers, and LMIA experts to meet your immigration and recruitment needs. Book one-time free consultation either on Facebook or by calling 604-396-0005.
United Pallets and Crates is located at 11585 134th Street in Surrey, BC. Give Sam Dooler a call
At 604-760-2028.
or call the office number at 604-634-2001. You can also visit the website, which is www.unitedpalletsandcrates.com, or send us email at info@palletsandcrates.com.
Thank you, sponsors. If you would like to be our sponsor and provide sponsorship to any segment of this show, get in touch with Camilla by calling the number 604-537-5123. We have in our studio Sarbjeet Sangha. She is here to talk about Surrey Vaisakhi, safety about children during the Nagar Kirtan in Surrey. Have a look.
Hello and welcome to Asian Pulse. Happy Vaisakhi to all of you. As you know, this is gonna be over 500,000 people will be gathered right here in Surrey, where we are broadcasting from, and to get ready and to talk about what will this year be looking like. I have Corporal Sarbjeet Sangha and Constable Kalon, both of the RCMP with Surrey, and they are getting ready for the big day coming up. So welcome to both of you.
Thank you very much for having us.
Okay. So just talk about how are you preparing to manage this biggest crowd in North America, I would say, gathered under in a city in one day.
Absolutely. And first of all, to the whole community, happy Vaisakhi from Surrey RCMP. We're looking forward to this day. As we know, April 20th, this Saturday, is the largest Vaisakhi Nagar Kirtan out of India. So I think we're very fortunate to be part of it. And Surrey RCMP has been part of the Nagar Kirtan in Surrey for many, many years. So our preparation for the Vaisakhi Nagar Kirtan been since ongoing for almost a year. We have resources in place for anything that could happen, but every year it's been a peaceful event, and we're hoping that this year is not going to be any different, that families come together and enjoy this very special occasion in our Sikh community, where we open everyone with open arms and we share food and we share our culture, and it has a very deep roots in our community. Vaisakhi is a very auspicious occasion for all of us.
So what I was going to say, I know, so how many officers going to be on the ground? A crowd like this, over 500,000. Last year, I thought they said between 600 to 700,000, the biggest and the largest crowd. How do you mentally prepare to handle, even though nothing will happen, but anything can happen? How do you mentally?
For sure. Council, Khan?
So in terms of the numbers of officers that we have working on the ground, I can't disclose the exact number, but we have our frontline officers, our uniformed patrol, our surveillance unit, all our integrated units, all our specialized units, which are waiting on standby in case anything does happen. But I think when it comes to a mental preparation, for a lot of us, especially me, I think it's mentally, it's a very special day because not only are you working in a professional capacity, you're also enjoying the day on a personal level. It's a day of the birth of the Khalsa and the birth of our identity as a people, as a community, and as a religion. So in terms of mental preparation, I think getting a good night's sleep has a lot to do with it. But I think our training and our aptitude and our mental fortitude to be prepared for any sort of situation that might arise that day, it plays a huge part in how we handle anything that comes about.
So this preparation doesn't happen overnight. It's a long-term preparation. If you talk to the Gurdwara here, they said it doesn't happen. 6 months, 3 months, it's an ongoing thing. One like this finish, they are thinking about next year. So are you on that community for safety and all that with the temple from day one?
Yes, we are. And Constable Callan can elaborate on that further because he actually sits on that committee. But we work with all the stakeholders very closely. And as you said, it's a long process of preparation. When you have that many people gather in a small space like this, we need to have every, what if scenario in our mind when we do our preparation, and definitely Constable Kalan can elaborate more on that.
Yeah, I think from the day the Vaisakhi Nagar Kirtan concludes, I think almost the next week later we start having discussions about what can be improved, what can be done better, any adjustments that can be made, and the next steps forward. And already that documentation, those discussions start taking place. And when they start taking place for the next one, that's almost a year in advance. So I think almost a year before the next Nagar Kirtan happens, we're already having regular meetings with the city, the Smesh Darbar Gurdwara Sahib themselves, bylaws, firefighters, ambulance, our specialized units, about what can be improved, what can be done better, and how we can be better at this every year that it comes.
Let's talk a little bit about safety. Safety, children's safety, elderly people's safety. Everybody wants to come out on that day because, like I say, it's a very special occasion. How could those people that are watching you today, how could they physically, mentally prepare themselves to be able to navigate in the crowd?
Absolutely. So, as it's a large crowd when we have families that attend the Nagar Kirtan, that includes small children as well, and elderly that are sometimes walking with a cane or they might be in a wheelchair. So I think preparing ahead of time for that is very important. We have a lot of kids that go missing. We have elderly that, fall behind from their family and they kind of get lost. So we suggest that before you leave the house, take a family picture, because in case somebody gets separated, you actually will able to provide the police what that family member is wearing that day. So taking a picture of your family before you leave the house on Nagar Kirtan is very important, because then you'll know what they're wearing that day. Also with the kids and the elderly, having your phone number and address is very important, and therefore if we're trying to help them and they don't know where the house is, if the address is on a piece of paper, maybe in their jacket, it'll be easy for us to locate their family. Keeping your kids and elderly hydrated is very important because it is a large crowd, even though there's so much food around you, but you might not have access to water easily. So having a bottle of water with you is very important, and not getting the small kids and elderly right into the crowd. Stay on the outskirts, you'll be safer there because as we know, in the middle of the crowd, it's very hard to get out. And if somebody who's already have a medical condition should not be in that crowd. You should stay on the outskirts, and so keep those things in mind. And if your kid does go missing, go to the nearest police officer to you, or go to one of the stages that are along the route. They'll be able to help you out because the cell phone reception, as we know, gets very, very slow, almost to none, that you'll be able to call for help. So reach for a police officer or an organizer. They'll be able to help you right away.
So should they be calling 911 or looking for an officer on duty? Do you have a booth there? Maybe it's too far. Or are you working with the crowd?
Okay.
So our main command center will be, I think the first main one is at right in front of the temple. It's just on 86 and 128. So right where the Gurdwara Dasmeshwar Road, where the Telus building is, our main command center will be there. We will have officers stationed at every intersection. They will be patrolling throughout the parade. Our main RCMP booth will be at the intersection of 76 Alpha Avenue and 128. So if you are on the outskirts of the parade or along the route, you will be able to see officers at every major or minor intersection or street where there's a traffic interjection. Now, in terms of calling 911, if you can call 911, absolutely call 911. If the cell phone service is working and you're in an area where you're able to, your phone is functioning and you're able to call 911, please do so. However, we are putting out the caution there that because of the large crowd, cell phone service can be extremely difficult. Working this Nagar Kirtan for countless years in the past, I can tell you from first-hand experience that the cell phone service between the peak hours, between I think Sarbjeet mentioned between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Is very limited. So it's very hard to get text messages and phone calls through. So that's why we recommend, if you are not able to call 911, flag down one of our officers because we are all we all have our radios, and we're able to communicate with each other and relay any information that you want to pass on to us.
What about safety of the food? And I know you can't talk about that because it has to be certain temperature. Do you have any idea about food safety?
Again, that is not something that we control.
Because
but
it's Fraser Health, right?
Exactly. Fraser Health takes care of that. But I think as a common sense, you should just, know which food at what temperature should be safe to eat. And if you have never tried a new food before, maybe this is not the day to try it for the first time. If you might not know what's in it, especially people who have allergies, or have nut allergies, or they are gluten intolerant or dairy intolerant, something like that. You can ask people who are behind the booth if they know what's actually in the food before you try it, and they're usually very helpful to tell you what's exactly in the food so you don't get allergic reaction. But again, this is not something that we monitor. What I would like to add is that there's a lot of going to be traffic disruption. That is something that bylaws and RCMP will be involved in. There will be road closure in place from 132 to 122 Street and 88 Avenue to 72nd Avenue. Those are the road closure in effect, but as you can imagine, the area surrounding those area, like from King George to 120th, is going to be really busy. So if you don't need to be in this area that day for anything, don't expect to be in that area. Just avoid it. If you can, use an alternative route because there will be lengthy delays and traffic disruption will be quite heavy.
And the Nagar Kirtan will be coming back to the Dasmes right here.
That is right.
84th, is it 82? I think 82 and 128.
Parm can actually talk about the route
Yeah,
as well.
so The Nagar Kirtan begins at Gurdwara Sahib Dasmesh Darbar. So they drive up the roadway. I believe it's 86th Avenue, and they drive up the roadway, and they take it begins on 128.
Yeah.
So it begins on 128, and it proceeds southbound all the way up to, I believe it's 84 Avenue. It's the curved road right at the railroad tracks.
Okay.
For those who aren't familiar with the street numbers or the avenue numbers. So that's where it takes a turn, at the railroad track intersection, and then it proceeds westbound all the way until 124th Street, where the parade will take a left turn. The Nagar Kirtan will take a left turn there, and it will go southbound all the way until 76th Avenue.
Okay.
So through the residential area, 76th Avenue. At 76, they're going to take a left eastbound turn, proceeding back towards 128th Street. And then 128, that 76 turns into 75. And then once they get to that main, which we expect to be one of the busiest intersections, and we also have advised of a 100-foot tent exclusion zone from that specific intersection, because that is one of the busiest intersections and heaviest populated during that day. And at that point, the Nagar Kirtan will take another left turn, going back northbound on 128, all the way back to Gurdwara Sahib Dasmesh Darbar.
So people should not be even thinking about driving, not these streets, the one that you just mentioned, because it's going to be closed, and it will be closed. What time would the road be closed, especially on 128? We are right here on 128.
So
is it by 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock? Then there will be.
absolutely. So there's road closures starting Friday.
Okay.
On Friday around noon, the 128th Street between 88 and 84. So it's a two-way lane both ways right now. It's going to be one-way lane both ways. So one of the lanes are going to be shut down for preparation for the Nagar Kirtan. On Saturday morning, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., the road closures that we talked about, those are in effect. So no one will be able to bring their vehicle in. The only exception is that if you live in this corridor, you'll have to show the officer at the traffic stop your driver's license with your current address, which should be in this area. That's the only exception, that you'll be able to bring your car in to go home. Otherwise, you will not be able to drive on these roads that are closed that day.
And what about comfortable clothing? I think that's very important too, because it can be warm, could be cold in the morning, and then it warms up in the afternoon. And so many times I see women wearing high heels and all that. They are working, and if you can do that, that's fine. But I think they should be mentally prepared that going to be quite a bit of working on that day that you should be able to do.
I think it's a personal choice, per se. Some people are comfortable in heels, so we can't tell them. But generally speaking, if you plan to walk along Nagar Kirtan from Gurdwara Sahib back to Gurdwara Sahib, comfortable footwear is important. People can wear runners, and I've seen people who are actually walking along Nagar Kirtan, they wear runners, and that's perfectly normal. But at the end of the day, it's your personal choice what you feel comfortable in. And for kids, I think parents know that they are going to prepare their kids. It might rain in the morning, and then it gets really, really hot in the afternoon. So dress accordingly to the weather that's going to be happening on that day, because we know in our area, the Vancouver weather is it changes every day. So just look at your forecast for Saturday, see what kind of weather you're going to have, and prepare yourself for that. And hydrate yourself. That's very important, because a lot of medical emergencies that happen, it's because of dehydration. So that's very important that your kids and elderly are well hydrated. Keep them out of sun if it gets too hot.
Yeah, just adding to Sarbjeet, it's important to know your limitations, like whether you're elderly or you're a parent, and if you have a difficult time keeping everyone together in a group setting, or if you know your elderly family members like to push themselves, and I know everyone is very motivated, and there's a lot of the spirit, everyone's in very high spirits that day, but just know your personal limitations, and know how far you can push yourself, and just be cognizant and mindful of that, because we want to avoid having any sort of medical emergencies, because it is extremely difficult, not only for the public, but it's also difficult for us equally equally to navigate the parade route, because there's just as many people as you are facing there for us. So just be aware of that.
Any last word of advice that we haven't touched upon that people before you leave home should be cognizant about, if you're going as a family, children, elderly, and anything and everything?
I think we'll just do a little recap on what's most important. Take a family photo, have your address and your phone number, a family member who will be able to answer that phone number, somebody who's probably not at the Nagar Kirtan, because we might not be able to reach them if they have a cell phone and cell phone service is down. So having this phone number of somebody who's not at the Nagar Kirtan would be important. And another thing I wanted to add is if there is a medical emergency and you see a police officer trying to make his way into the crowd to help that person, or you see ambulance trying to get into the crowd because somebody's in distress, the crowd needs to make way. They need to make way so that personnel can come in and provide the medical aid to that person as soon as possible. Also, we have a lot of new people that are going to be at the Nagar Kirtan, which also includes people new to this country. When to call 911 and when not to call 911 is very important. If you see something that is an emergency, somebody is, as a medical distress, somebody is having a heart attack, they can't breathe, that requires urgent care. If you're able to call 911, call 911. If you can't, reach to the nearest police officer to you. Again, somebody's being assaulted, that's an emergency. You need to call 911 if you can. If you can, find your nearest police officer to you. So those things are very important, and have a great time. You know, this is our annual Vaisakhi Nagar Kirtan. We look forward to this all year long. We want this to be a peaceful event for all of our family members, and we're going to be there for you if you need us.
I think that's a very good word of advice. And just dress up, come enjoy it. It's your day. And I think everybody's preparing, mentally, physically preparing for this day. So thank you to both of you be able to come into our studios and educate our audience.
Thank you.
How to take care of you on the day off.
Okay,
Thank you.
very much.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have your pen and paper ready to jot down the numbers. Such a worthy cause is taking place on April 26th at 6 p.m. at Crown Plaza in Surrey. For tickets and more information, please visit www.sachbc.ca/events. Moving forward, Family Services are offering free women's group in English starting on March 15th at 12 p.m. You can register online at HELLO@movingforward.HELP or call at 778-321-3054. Touching Lives Foundation is doing pancake breakfast from 9:30 until 11:30 a.m. on Sunday, April 28th at St. Mary's Parish, 5251 Joyce Street in Vancouver. Proceeds from this Mother's Day breakfast will go towards Convenient House in Vancouver. For more information, please call Josie at 778-892-7388 or Neera at 604-603-4684. If you are organizing an event in your community and want us to promote it for you, we've run out of time now, and I hope you have enjoyed the show as much as I do bringing it to you. If you ever miss our shows, you can always tune in on Shaw Cable every Wednesday at 1:30 p.m., Thursdays at 8:30 p.m., and Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. All our shows are also broadcasted in Calgary on Channel 10 on Shaw Cable Network and also get uploaded to our YouTube channel under the Camilla Singh Shows. Before I take your leave, I bring to you these kind thoughts. You learn nothing from life if you think you are right all the time. I am your host Farah Khan. I hope you have a wonderful day and we look forward to seeing you all next week on the same channel and the same time. Bye for now. Thank you.
क्या आप अपना ड्रीम होम खरीदना चाहते हो या अपने घर से पैसे निकालकर अपने किचन या अपने घर को रेनोवेट करना चाहते हो, लेकिन बैंक्स ने आपको मना कर दिया है? आप मुझे कॉल कर सकते हैं, यानी विक प्रसाद को। मैं एक इंडिपेंडेंट मॉर्गेज ब्रोकर हूं जो कई बैंक्स और क्रेडिट यूनियंस और प्राइवेट लेंडर्स के साथ काम करता हूं।
For more information, please call Vic Prasad at 604-306-6647. Vic Prasad is one of the top brokers of Invis Craft Mortgages and is also a member of the Canadian Mortgage Brokers Association of BC.
For any kind of visa-related services, contact Milky Way Immigration, a galaxy of opportunities located at Unit 209-9547 152 Street, Surrey, BC. They have licensed immigration consultants, placement officers, and LMIA experts to meet your immigration and recruitment needs. Book one-time free consultation either on Facebook or by calling 604-396-0005.
United Pallets and Crates is located at 11585 134th Street in Surrey, BC. Give Sam Dooler a call
At 604-760-2028.
or call the office number at 604-634-2001. You can also visit the website, which is www.unitedpalletsandcrates.com, or send us email at info@palletsandcrates.com.
क्या आप अपना ड्रीम होम खरीदना चाहते हो या अपने घर से पैसे निकालकर अपने किचन या अपने घर को रेनोवेट करना चाहते हो, लेकिन बैंक्स ने आपको मना कर दिया है? आप मुझे कॉल कर सकते हैं, यानी विक प्रसाद को। मैं एक इंडिपेंडेंट मॉर्गेज ब्रोकर हूं जो कई बैंक्स और क्रेडिट यूनियंस और प्राइवेट लेंडर्स के साथ काम करता हूं।
For more information, please call Vic Prasad at 604-306-6647. Vic Prasad is one of the top brokers of Invis Craft Mortgages and is also a member of the Canadian Mortgage Brokers Association of BC.